Just a few more questions about your business. How do you lead? How do you lead your organization? Are you someone that leads by example? Like you said, lick 'em, don't kick 'em. Is it a conscious decision you made over the years? Because it's a tricky, nuanced thing.
It is. Well, I'm obviously in the main office in China, and I don't have always my door is open. I know everyone says that, but I used to have no door. I used to unscrew the bloody thing to make sure people were really clear it wasn't just a fallacy. Because I got no private call. If I want to go make a private call, go outside and make a private call. I don't believe in having, each person having their own office. Do I lead by example? I think so. I don't ask anybody to do anything I wouldn't do myself. And we do ask for a lot of commitment, not in terms of hours you work, but in terms of your mental commitment to the company. We call it all in or fuck off, basically. And I understand it's not for everyone, so they would not be, it's not for everyone, so some people in our company understand if they've got young kids and stuff like that. Because moving to live there is a massive, and I would never ask them to do it if they really didn't want to. There's no point asking them if they don't really want to do it because they won't do a great job. So we do ask for a lot of commitment from our people, not just in the hours they work, but in the way they think and in the way they treat people. I'm pretty tough on that. And giving trust and let people fail and don't bollock them just for failing. That goes a long, long way. If you remove fear from the workplace, I think you get a massive outcome. And kicking works as well. Don't get me wrong, I've seen both. But you don't develop the person. They don't become a super employee because they're always living in a fear of losing their job, which is a crap feeling, isn't it? It's a shit feeling.
Yeah, one of our biggest guests here, he likes to say that your employees should ask for forgiveness, not for permission. And it's an interesting way to run the company because it's never going to grow at big scale unless you empower all the people. And
you have to empower them. That means removing fear.
Right, and your control.
Ooh, control and fear. Ooh, not good ones. Not good ones.
I was in Napa Valley in August, and I went to the Robert Mondavi vineyard. And it was this whole story about how they kind of put Napa Valley wine on the global map for fine wines.
He was the instigator, was he?
Yeah, he was one of the pioneers there. Early days when because they used to just crank out jug wine in California. And they said, okay, we're going to compete with the French, and they really tried to do that. And he used to talk about going on business trips with his father, and they would go back east to the people that would buy their wine and that kind of thing when it was a cheaper version. And he said he would watch his father on business meetings, and he was expecting these, get into the office and pull out the projections. And he said his father just had fun with the guys, had dinner, played cards, and he soon realized that his father did business. The people bought into him because they knew they could trust him at the end of the day. And I was wondering if that's how you do business with people. You seem like the kind of guy that travels a lot, meets with the people you need to meet with, but you don't seem like the guy that goes through the numbers.
And we don't have contracts. I'm good with numbers, funnily enough, but we do now of a certain size, but I never was a great believer in contracts. From the old antiques world, if you say you're going to have something, you have it. And even when it turns up and you don't want it, if you said you're going to have it, you take it. And my dad was fantastic like that, and he would never back out of a deal. And I learned that from him. And the Benedictines, they were very strong on that. Your word is your bond. And I think it works in business. Flipping hell, it really does help. Well, it does in our industry. I don't know about more cutthroat industry, because our industry, thank the Lord, is pretty honourable. I can count the bad debt on 5 hands. But in 30 odd years, that's still pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
It's a pretty safe industry. But I do think integrity and trust and letting people, giving them freedom, are the cornerstones of your values.
Yeah.
And it works. And you see it further down the chain, it works again. It's like, I call it like a boomerang. The harder you throw it, it comes back and whacks you on the back of the head. It's a good thing, isn't it? It's not a bad thing.
How many people do you have working for you?
In all the workshops, about between 3,500 and 4,000 in Asia. Then office staff, 400. In my direct team, about HSS, we call HSS, about 100 and 150. And in the design team, about 15 of us to 20 of us, depending on time of the year. So my direct team is only 15, which is nice.
Okay.
Because I'm not CEO. We have a professional
For that.
CEO. Yeah, he's good.
Okay. That was a smart delegation.
Yeah. Duck.
To watch the rest of this fascinating interview, click on the link below and go to londonreelacademy.com. There you can sign in with your social media, log in and watch the rest of the episode for free, along with all of our episodes on London Reel, my webinars, and all of our premium content, all located over at londonreelacademy.com. So click on the link below, you'll be directed there and you can watch the rest of this fascinating interview, and I'll see you there.